Yes, you may. People. Yes. Yes. Instead of C, you could have said 1C. Can you guys at the back please stop talking? Take out your books and start marking. Right. There's A up until D. Any questions? Yes. But then you had a lot of X's in here. Then here to the power 3. And instead of 1, you had 1x. Okay, but remember, we said highest common factor. So yes, 7x was a factor, but it wasn't the highest common factor. Okay. Can I skip? Yeah. Uh-uh. A negative times a negative times a negative. Oh, yes, that's a positive. Yeah. Same thing. So a negative divided by a negative will give me a positive. Okay, can I skip? Hulle daar's so cool daar agter wat elke liewe klas heeltyd gesels. Is 3 the highest one, eh? 666, thank you. Ah, 5, 6, 7. Kyk hoe lekker sit en doen ek nou. Right, there's 2A up until D. Any questions there? None. Can I skip? I'll give you a minute. Ja, nou kry ek warm. Okay, hands up, you're still copying? Okay, so people over here, the bracket itself is the common factor. So A minus 2B, close your bracket, start a new one, and then 2x minus y. Oh, I forgot it. I forgot to do an example like this one. No, where you change the signs. Okay, so people, sorry, I slipped up. I forgot about this one in the exercise. So over here, you will see that the brackets are not exactly the same. So what I could have done, the first part, I'm going to stick to that. But if I take out a negative, can you see then that negative x will become a positive x? The positive y will become a negative y. And now do you see that the two brackets are the same? Okay, so now I can say, okay, x minus y will be my common factor. So 3a minus 2b would be what's left after I take that out. Sorry, that was my mistake. Okay, at C. Okay, over here, you will see that both terms have got a minus 3 as a common factor. So I put my new bracket to show what's left after I take that out. But what was left here? 1. And then plus b. Okay. Did everyone have that? B plus 1, also same thing? Okay, now at D. And remember this one I said is a tricky one. Okay, now remember that square means that this bracket can actually be written twice. Nay, so it's the same as x minus 1, minus, and then I'm going to put a 1 in front here to remind you guys. Okay, so what's the same for both of them? X minus 1. So that will be my common factor that I take out. Now, if I take that out in the first term, what would be left? X minus 1. And in the second term, what would be left? Minus 1. Okay, so I would like it if you could simplify that and just say x minus 1, x minus 2. You guys good? I won't. Any questions? So, yeah? Kom gou. Shh, 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 shh. Any other questions here? Isabel? Any questions, people? Yeah. D. Are you at B? At number 3. Okay, so at number 3, let me quickly have a look.
I want to just hear the example ma'am showed. When we did something like that, the first one ma'am didn't put it in brackets.
No, I did, didn't I? Sorry, I just want to quickly check
I
something.
maybe accidentally missed it. Okay, I accidentally missed it. Okay, then it's fine. Thank you.
Because if you don't have brackets, it looks like only the B will be multiplied in. Okay. Yeah, okay, right. Let me quickly explain number 3 again. So at number 3, you will see that what's the same for both of them is this full bracket. Do you see? Okay, now, so I show that I take that out as a common factor. Okay? Okay, then we start our bracket. You will see here, start my bracket. Now in this bracket, I will write what would be left after I took that out. So remember, I almost want to say last week. The first term was 2x, a minus 2b. So if I put both of them over a minus 2b, it means that that cancels out with this. So can you see why this 2x here is left? Okay. Then at the second term, a minus 2b, a minus 2b. So what's left? The minus 1. Does it now make a bit more sense? Yeah. Okay, so B was a bit of a different thing, and B, as I said, I slipped up. I forgot to show you guys how to change that sign. So what you'll see here is I've got x minus y, and then there, y minus x. So they're not exactly the same, and they have to be exactly the same in order to make them a common factor. No. Okay, so what I'm going to do in my first step is I'm going to make them the same. Okay, so it was 3a x minus y plus 2b. So let me just show you. Can you see I had a negative x here? So it was negative x, and that is a positive y, no? Okay, so plus y. Now you can see clearly that this is a positive, that's a negative. This is a negative, that's a positive. So meaning I want to change these two signs. And when I want to change a sign, I take out a negative. No. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to change that to a negative. Sorry? Out of the blue. No. Look at the minus x plus y. I want that to be positive x minus y. Now, if I were to do this, that multiplied in would give me the minus x. And this multiplied in would give me the positive y. Does it now make sense? Okay, think of it the other way around. If we multiply in a plus into a bracket, none of the signs will change. No. But if we multiply in a negative, what's going to happen to all the signs? They're going to change. No. Okay, so we use that principle. So when we multiply with a negative 1 or divide with a negative 1, it's actually the same thing. No. So because I want to change my signs, I know I want to have a negative in front. So technically it looks like this, positive 2b, and then I take out a negative. So this must still be multiplied with negative and then x minus y. No, but then that positive 2b with this negative will become a negative 2b. Do you get where that comes from? No. So over here you'll see I changed that plus to a minus, which means that it now became a positive x and a negative y. All right. But we'll do more examples like that later on because I didn't explain that before you did this homework. Okay, so what I want you to definitely understand, what I want you to definitely understand is that these two now look the same. And that's why I take them out as a common factor. You fine with that? Okay, and then when I take out the bracket, what's left here? 3a. When I take out the bracket, what's left here? Minus 2b. Okay. Are you good with that? Yeah? Shh. Yeah? Yeah. So when we do common factor, we always have, wat gaat hier aan? We always have, wat op aarde, sorry. I do not know what I did, Jana. I what? Ek weet nie wat ek nou gedoen het nie. I can't get out of here. Had ek net